The Denver Broncos need to clean up one massive thing, and in a hurry, if they want to regain control of this young season before it gets away from them. And it doesn't even matter who the opponent is, because right now, one of the biggest Broncos opponents is actually themselves. I want to talk about that in this video. Also, I want to get a 20,000-foot view, all right, using ESPN's Football Power Index, and get a snapshot of what the current Broncos playoff probability is. What is the probability to still win the division after Sunday's loss to the Chargers? And what does it look like to, even win a playoff game? So I have all those numbers. We're going to get to that here in a second. But first, guys, appreciate you being here. Smash that subscribe button. This channel is growing by the day. This time last week, we were hoping to get to 600 subscribers. We've blown through 650 and now eyeing 700. The best way that you can support this is just by being here, liking the video, dropping your thoughts in the comments. Love to interact with you there. And tell a friend, tell an enemy, spread the news about this channel, because we are posting here every single day. All right, let's talk about arguably the biggest problem facing the Denver Broncos right now, and that is the penalties. Are you kidding me? All of a sudden, the Denver Broncos are one of the most undisciplined football teams in the entire NFL. And that is not an exaggeration. That is not hyperbole. That is just facts, okay? And your eyes, when you watch the game, your eyes tell the story. But when you back up the eye test with stats, it just illustrates how glaring of an issue this is for these Broncos, because it's hard enough, and we talked about this in a previous video, talking about going on the road and losing to the Chargers. It's hard enough to go beat a team that may have a better quarterback than you, may even have a better coach than you, as Jim Harbaugh is now 6-1 against Sean Payton. You may be giving up those potential advantages, but you're never going to win those games when you're beating yourself at the same time as you're trying to overcome an opponent like the Chargers. So they have to get it cleaned up. They have time to clean it up, but it's got to happen in a hurry. Let's talk about some of the numbers here that back up that eye test of just watching the game. Guys, the Denver Broncos have given up 218 yards in penalties over 2 football fields of just flags. That is tied for 4th worst in the entire sport of professional football. All right. They are allowing 73 yards a game in just flags. And the way I try to think about it sometimes like this, to demonstrate just how impactful this is, think about J.K. Dobbins' run to start the second half against the Chargers. Or R.J. Harvey's run week 1 against the Titans, right? It went for 50 yards. Dobbins' run on Sunday in that first possession of the second half goes for 41 yards, second longest rush of the year. This is getting close to double that run in just penalty flags. That is so problematic and unhealthy, it's hard to even frame it or articulate it. It's got to get cleaned up, all right? How about this for the Denver Broncos? 7 penalties pre-snap in 3 football games. Think about that. So that's more than twice a game they are blowing the play dead because you're not lined up right or you're not playing on time. That's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. All right? More here. 24 total flags in 3 football games. That is 8 times a contest, all right? You're getting a flag thrown on you. That is so detrimental and derailing, okay? Derailing for an offense or defense, right? You think of a Hufunga's personal foul late in the Chargers game, on the game-winning drive. Chargers go from having the ball on their own 35-yard line, okay, to being at midfield like that. All right, and so it's an issue. But here's what's even worse. There's been 6 penalties that have been declined by the opposition. No, thank you. We did good enough just on our own. We actually don't need your help. But I just told you that they've been flagged 24 times. 24 plus 6 is 30. That is 30 flags thrown on the Denver Broncos in 3 football games. Okay? So you knew it was bad when you watched the game, right? But then when you start to like put the numbers to it, it's even worse than even I initially thought, just speaking for myself. All right, 10 flags a game? That's insane. That's psychotic. And here's what might be my least favorite part about the dynamic of this conversation. These flags aren't coming from rookie Pat Bryant, rookie R.J. Harvey, rookie Jahdae Barron. He might not be on the field enough to get flagged, just 25% of the snaps. We'll get back to that in a later video. But like these flags are not coming from the young football players. Who are they coming from? It's Troutman. 3 flags in 3 games from Adam Troutman? It just can't happen, okay? It can't happen. You are not that level of a player to even afford the grace in a conversation like this. But it's from Troutman. It's from Dobbins. Spiking the football 2 weeks ago. That is so controllable. It's just dumb. Hufanga body slamming someone, like gave someone a German suplex like he's British Bulldog in 1997. Can't do it. Veteran player. PS2 pair of flags. Riley Moss has been flagged. Bowles, face masks. Nick Benito lining up in the neutral zone on a punt. You're getting the ball back to your offense and you're lined up offsides. Can't happen. John Franklin Myers. And so all these veteran players are committing these flags. It's an undisciplined football team. So got to get it cleaned up and in a hurry. Okay. Sean Payton. Penalties of this magnitude reflect coaching. All right. And when you look at how the Broncos, since the start of last year, are now 1-10 versus teams with a winning record. Okay. And part of the reason is you're beating yourself. All right. 2-10 in 1-score games since the start of last year. Part of the reason is you're beating yourself. All right. So, that's 2-8. 2-8 in 1-score games since the start of last year. So again, the NFL, the most common point differential is going to be 3, 6, 7, 10. All right. 3 of those 4 are 1-score games. You can't afford to have penalties like this in 1-score games. All right. I want to talk about the playoff odds. All right. The projected win total, ESPN's Football Power Index, their mega computers, thousands and thousands of simulations collecting every data point known to man when it comes to professional football. The new projected win total for the Broncos, 8.6 wins. Not great. Playoff probability, now officially under 50% at 48.9% chance to make the playoffs. Chance to win the division after Sunday. Think about how big of a swing this is. Had they had won that game on Sunday, they're in sole possession of first place for the first time since the fall of 2016. They lose that game and go to 1-2, they currently now have a 9% chance to win the AFC West, according to ESPN's Football Power Index. To make the divisional round of the playoffs, believe it or not, this is actually high in my opinion, 23% to still play in the divisional round. To play in a conference championship game, 10%, all right, likelihood, according to ESPN's Football Power Index, and a chance to make the Super Bowl still at 4.5%. Chance to win the Super Bowl at 2%. These numbers are fluid, but I am going to be sharing these with you on Tuesdays here moving forward. Guys, thanks for being here. Again, I humbly ask you, smash that subscribe button. Drop me your thoughts in the comments. I will interact with you there. Like this video. That's another great way to support this thing. The algorithm respects all this stuff. So I love all that stuff, but at the end of the day, just thank you for being here. You will hear more from me tomorrow.